Converted, still standing. Praise the Lord. Yes, house is still standing. Very good. Okay. So back to these 90 days. So here I am thinking, okay, I'm going to chronicle how I'm feeling in these 90 days that the Lord is not allowing me to talk to him, because I have to convince him that I am a good person. I have to convince this person that he should want to be with me. So I've got to now do all this convincing, and I'm going to chronicle my feelings, how I feel. And at the end of the 90 days, on the 91st day, when he calls me again, I am going to give him this handwritten book that I have stayed up and I have wrote out by hand this book, because I want him to know how I was feeling all the time I couldn't talk to him. And I wrote a book. And thank y'all for I didn't want all that loudness happening. The house is still standing. Praise the Lord. And so I wrote the book, and about the 12th day in that I was writing, and I was writing every day. I was chronicling my feelings of how I felt not being chosen again. Let me read you the back of the book, because this is exactly how I felt. Said I could have never imagined that a chance meeting would have led to writing this book. Handsome man, pretty woman, both available. This should work beautifully, right? Wrong. Wrong. What it led to was frustration. From the frustration came a decision to pray. From the prayer came an answer, 90 days. So I was frustrated. I prayed about it. God said, cut it off, 90 days. You cannot, do not, period, talk to this person for 90 days. I wanted to be in the arms of my love, but found myself running straight into the arms of the one who loved me. No strings, no conditions. In the pages of this devotional, you will get a bird's eye view into each emotion that came from not being chosen again. You will also get to witness me be chosen and receive an invitation to be chosen as well. So this book came out of not being chosen again. Because the question among questions, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Right? Why doesn't anybody want me? What do I have to do to make somebody see all of this greatness over here that people keep telling me you're great? And then how my mind changed was I was watching a girl on YouTube, actually, and she was doing a fast, and she showed a book, and the book was called God is a Matchmaker by Derek Prince. When I read God is a Matchmaker by Derek Prince, my whole dating mindset changed. There is a person, I believe, this is my belief, nobody else has to believe this, Shakema believes. There is a person that is out there for me that God is going to connect with at whatever time is his appointed time. Because here's the answer to why doesn't anybody want me? Why isn't anybody choosing me? Why won't anybody want to invest in me, right? Here's the answer. No man or woman is going to choose a significant other that does not meet the missing parts of what they need in their life. Nobody. The guy that I dated for 6 months, the problem, outside of the fact that I would not be intimate with him, was I wasn't a project chick. He needed a project chick, not for me to live in the projects. But when he came over, I've only had, two gentlemen have only ever been in this house. I've lived in this house almost 8 years. When he came over for lunch, he looked around my house and he said, this is nice. His expectation was he was going to come into something that he had to fix. We weren't going to have our stuff together, because when we had met out, we would go out. You know, I would always dress up, or usually it was on a Sunday, so after church. So I would be dressed. So most people do dress up when they go out, but when I come to your space, this is nice. Well, what did you expect? I'm a professional woman. I work a job. I pay my bills. I do all the things. Because he just kept wanting to give me his credit card. Well, I can pay for this and I can pay for that and I can pay for this. Well, what is it going to cost me? Right? And so then I have this other person who is so indecisive and so very handsome that women are just throwing themselves at him. Listen, I don't throw myself anywhere but at the altar and the foot of Jesus. That's the only place you're going to ever see Shakema throwed. Okay? I will be throwed on the altar. I don't have a problem. I throw my own self. I will throw myself down at the foot of Jesus. But to throw myself at a man, oh no, that's not how I roll. I don't roll in that. I don't know how to roll like that. So, but when I found the book, God is a Matchmaker by Derek Prince, and I began to read, it just calmed my spirit. It really did. And it really has. But in this book, when I started writing, I wrote this book to this individual for about 12 days. And on the 12th day, because the book is backwards, it starts at day 90 and it works its way down. Why does it do that, Shakema? Because I find that most times when you count down instead of counting up, sometimes you counting up, you're like, oh, I'm only on day 2 and I got to get to 50. You're like, oh, Jesus. But if you started at 50 and you're on 25, you kind of halfway there. You can see yourself make it through. So I count down. So on the day 12, which is day 78 in this book, the Lord said to me, and I hear God. I know what God sounds like for me. I can't tell you what he sounds like for you, but he said, you're writing this book for one person, and I want you to write it for all the persons. And so it switches on day 78 to invite everybody into this relationship. Because listen, lots of people haven't chosen us, but God chooses us every single day. And so what this represents to me is the journey of being chosen by the one who really matters, and not worrying about why somebody else didn't pick me. You know what I'm saying? But he saw no value in what I had to offer. If they don't see value in what you have to offer them, they're never going to pick you. Never. It doesn't matter. Or they're going to pick you for what they want. And right after they get done doing that, they're going to throw you back. And so I'd rather just not even walk that road with you, because I'm not going to fall myself on the altar on Sunday morning for something I did on a Friday or a Saturday night. That's not me. That's not Shakema. So you can go and do whatever you want with whomever you want, but it will not be happening over here. Now, my husband can get anything, anytime, anywhere, any place, ever. But just some random person who does not find value here will not get it. So that's what this book is about. The first 12 days are really personal days. I talk about, let me go through some of the entries in the book, because there are 90 different entries. And I think this is interesting. Day 90 is your story is unique. None of us are the same. Some of us have similar stories, but none of us have the same exact story. We are all unique in our own right. And Jesus made us that way. And he appreciates our uniqueness even when other people don't. So stop trying to get away from who you are and start being who God says you are, and live that. Live that. And so the thing about it is, you know, a lot of us have been in those situations. Charlie said, I just walked away from a relationship that wasn't a match in any way, right? Some of us want it so bad that we'll take anything. Well, can I tell you this? God don't give me just anything. So the days of just taking anything are over for me. God is a matchmaker. Totally changed my thinking on dating, marriage, all that. I did a group study with several ladies, and one of the girls was like, well, I don't even know if I need a man. What do I need a man for? I can do all the things. And I said, we have relegated men to gas and grass. I don't need anybody to cut my grass. Mr. Jerome comes to cut my grass. I don't need anybody to pump gas. My 14-year-old pumps gas. But perhaps there's something else in that man. I need intellectual stimulation. Do you have that? Don't just make him the gas pumper and the grass cutter. There's more to him. I need other things from you. I need you to lay hands on me and speak a blessing over myself. I need those things. So I said, don't sell yourself short on a relationship because you just can't see a man cutting your grass. There's more to him than that. There's more to people than just the things. It is so important to heal, Miss Rose, because what you're seeing now, what I tell people now, right? Because I can say this, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about my journey, not anybody else's. What a man will get from me now is a healed person, a whole person. I don't need anybody else to complete me. I am a complete person, 100% a person. I will compliment someone, and that's the only person that's going to choose me, is the person who sees me as their compliment. I'm never going to be picked by somebody who sees me as their competition, which is what was wrong with the second guy, because he's like, if somebody break into my house, I'm the one who's supposed to go and get the intruder. Sir, you can have the intruder. I'm not going to jump in front of the intruder. I don't know what gave you that thought process. I don't know what I said to make you think I was going to go jump out there, but I'm not jumping anywhere. You go and see what the sound was, but that's when people have it made up in their mind already, and that's perfectly fine. But your journey is unique. Another entry is called faith. I live a life of faith every single day of my life. I don't know anything else but that. That's all I know. Why would I want to do anything else when this faith life has been so doggone good to me? Another one of the entries is called relationships. Do you have them in your life? And I don't just mean romantic relationships. Do you have friends? Some of us don't have friends. Some of us have never had friends. The Lord, I had always prayed for friends, and God gave me those friends in the form of my Titus 2 women. Some of those ladies, those are my sisters. Those are not my friends. They're not my ladies anymore. They're my sisters. They're my friends. They love me, and I love them just the same. And I'm not having to go and look for others, look for these relationships in other people, because I found them and God sent them to me. I didn't have to go anywhere to get them. I just had to put out a thing that says, hey, I'm going to be starting a women's group. Anybody want to join? And 100 women showed up. 88 of those women answered the second email. 69 of those women showed up, and depending on any week, we're 20, 30, 40, 50 strong. It just depends on the week, because there are no hard and fast. You can come when you want to. If you don't have time today, no problem. I'm going to be there. God told me to show up every week. He said, Shakema, if nobody shows up, preach to the screen. And some days he'd be making me, see if I'm going to do it. Another entry is called longing. We all have longing in our life. We all want somebody. I look at most of my friends, well, just about all my friends are married, and I see them with their spouses. And I do have a longing in my life to be coupled with someone. I am just about to empty nest, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life by myself. I want to spend the rest of my life with a person, giving them the best parts of me. But the Bible said to me and assured me that my latter days will be greater than my former days. Any man that would have come into my life prior to now would have gotten some jacked up person. Now, moving forward, the Lord has done a work, and he's still working on me. I'm still allowing him to change me, mold me, shape me. But, I still have those longings. I posted the other day that I had a really kind of a rough morning, because I was standing in my closet. I'm standing in my closet getting dressed for work, and I'm just weeping. Because, again, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with me. I had a weak moment. I got myself together, washed my face, and went on to work, living my best life. Another one is called enough. At some point in your life, you just have to say enough is enough. I'm not living this way anymore. I'm not doing the same things. Listen, I have had enough people coming over here trying to act crazy. If you're going to be crazy, stay over there. Nope. Don't tell me you with the universe. The universe is over there. You go over there with the universe. I am not accepting anything that is not God's best for me and mine. You got too many children. Good. Don't come over here. You too strong and independent. Good. Don't come over. Listen, this is who I am. Not to say that I will not be in my soft season once a man shows up. I can't wait till he get here so I can be soft. At the present time, because I got to take care of all the things, I take care of all the things. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I love that. And I want that for me. I've prayed and asked God to give me, in the beginning, I said, God, if you just give me 10 good years. And the Lord was like, well, you planning to not live longer than that? I said, you know what, God, let me take my limitations off. I want 40, 50. I want all the years you want to give me. I'm 48 years old. My family line is long, 80s, 90s, 100s. Can you give me all them years with someone? I want all of that. Another one of the entries is called indecision. There's an entry called a few simple prayers, consistency, time, purpose, rest, agreement. When the Lord is in it, that's day 78. And that's the day that things changed. God said, you're writing this to one person. I want you to write it to all the people. Coffee is one, 75 hard. Teaching is another one. The blessing of the Lord, ding, that's another one. Facebook post, a heartfelt prayer, that's another entry. Nicole, she gets her own entry. My glass tabletop desk, that's an entry. Anomaly, that's an entry. Wait, what? That's an entry. Tim text, a text from our pastor, that's an entry. 2 Corinthians 5:17 in the Amplified Classic, that's an entry. Don't stay there too long, that's day 22. What else would I do? That's day 16. Day 14 is daily motivation. Day 13 is God knows how to love me. Day 7 is called a snapshot. Day 6 is called unpack your bags. Day 2 is a phone call from friends. And day 1 is watch out world, here I come. So I didn't go through all of the entries in the book, but there are a lot of things. And we're going to be talking of every single night for 90 nights, starting on March the 1st. So March the 1st, April into May. So we should finish up at the end of May. We're going to be going live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to unpack. There's a lot of scripture in here, and every day provides an opportunity for a person to make a choice. There's an invitation at the end of every single day for you to make a choice. So I'm going to ask you if you would be so kind as to join me. Do you have to have the book? Of course not. If you purchase the book, that just helps me. It helps put a little income in my pocket, but you don't have to have the book in order to join me for those 90 days. Would love, love, love to host you. My other videos will keep going out. When I did the 40 days of love, I didn't do a lot of videos, but I'm going to still just do my regular posting, but this will be an extra video. Thank you. You know what? Rachel is my girl. Rachel be helping me out. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, Lord. Okay, Shamika getting married in there, so I may have to pre-record a couple. Thank you, Rachel. That helped me out. I may have to pre-record a couple because Shamika is getting married and the kids and I are traveling from North Carolina to California and back. So a couple of days I will not be able to maybe be live with you, but I will pre-record those and I will set them to premiere on the days that they're supposed to go live. Thank you, Rachel. That helps me out to jog my memory. So anywho, you know, and my divorce was hard, but I thank God that I am where I am now. And I thank God that I can be a helper to someone. In Genesis chapter 2, 18 through 25, the Lord tells the husband to leave his father and mother and cleave only unto his wife. And I am so very thankful that the Lord has allowed me, even in these latter years, because I always wanted to have a father figure in the house for my children. That didn't work out specifically, but my children have a relationship with their father. I'm very thankful for that. But now that it's just me and Jackson, even though sister lives at home, she will not be at home for very much longer, but Jackson is here. At some point, Jackson's going to college and it will just be me. And so I'm thankful that I will get to have a relationship with a man that's just for me. And why do you say that, Shakema? Because when I met my ex-husband, Shamika was 2 years old. We had always had kids, and then we started having children. So there was never a time in our relationship when it was just us. We always had kids. Shamika wouldn't go with anybody. Trandon would not go with anybody. He never went with no other. He was with me, attached to me for 4 years. Didn't sleep through the night till he was 4 years old. He was attached. And then we had Alana, and she was her daddy's girl. And then we had Jackson, and we were going through a divorce. So at this point of life, because my children are older and live out, and I don't have to do things for them. They don't live here. I don't pay their bills. I don't keep my grandkids because I don't have none. All of that, it's going to be just for us. Does that make sense? And I'm thankful. I never could have saw it back then. I'm like, well, God, where he at? What's wrong? What's wrong with me? Why they don't want me? Why? Now I'm like, thank you. I see it now. I didn't see it then. That's a sign of a mature woman who can actually look in, this man is going to come into a ready-made family, but he's going to come into a ready-made family that is functional and that loves each other and that will help each other at the drop of a hat, but don't necessarily need each other to survive. My son don't need me to pay his rent or he gonna be evicted. My daughter don't need me to pay her rent or she gonna be evicted. They all got that straight. They straight. Alana is straight. She probably more straight than anybody because Alana don't play with her coins. And Jackson, of course, is going to be the same way, but he's going to be off to college doing his thing. I will be right at retirement time. If he travels, I can travel. If I travel, he can travel. I didn't see the value then, although I see the value now. So I want to just walk us through just the journey. In here, you're going to see a lot of the old Shakema and how the Lord ministered to me to get me to this place where I am, where I lean and trust and depend on who he is and what he provides and all the things like that. Then I just want you to join me, journey with me, if you will. You don't have to come every night. You don't have to come any night. Here's my mandate to do it. I was like, okay, God, I'm done with the 40 days. What's next? He was like 90 days. So that was 40 days. This is 90 days. He told me in 2024, this was my platform. Use it, do it. And so I have to be obedient to that. I did take those last 2 weeks of February off just to kind of rest up a little because I'm going into a 90-day study, which is twice the love there. So plus 10 days. So I was like, okay, God, I'll just take those couple weeks off and then I'll just jump right in. I'm going through myself just like you. I'm reading, I'm writing, I'm chronicling, I'm highlighting, I'm different color pens and all the things just so I will be able to bring you all through. I'm going to try to put a lot of scripture just so we are focusing on the word, not just my words, but the word, because that is what keeps us going on a daily basis. So anywho, like the video, share. If you have some friends, invite them over. I'm praying that the Lord would allow some of these teachings to get out to just the masses. There are women who need to hear certain things, and I'm hopeful that it will be a blessing to the masses as much as God will allow. So anywho, y'all, Jackson is done cooking burgers and the house is still standing. So I'm going to go and have a lamb burger, and grocery haul comes out tomorrow. Don't forget that. If you have the means, what I would ask you to do is buy the book and gift a book, right? I've given away more books than I've sold. I've given them away. I don't have any currently in the house, so I would give away some more. But if you have that means and you know somebody that could use it, it's raw, it's real, it's my life. And I'm praying that the Lord would bless the time that I'm going to use to go through it. Just as a side note, I thought I'm going to give it to this man on the 91st day. Do you know the 91st day, the 101st day, the 111th day, the 121st day came and he never called, never once. So, God was sure to arrest my spirit so that I was not so into the wind, right? So on the 12th day, he was like, do something different. And so now, because I changed, more people, people have read the book, and it helped me to then publish a second book. I actually compiled, I don't want to say ghost wrote because that's not the truth, but I compiled a book for my pastor. It was his very first published book. I got a team together because I had already done 2 of my own, and we got all of his writing, some things, and put it together in a book for him. And I'll show you that one. So I was a contributor on this book. It's called Text from Timothy. This is my pastor, Timothy Hutto. It's called Text from Timothy, and the Journey Begins. So this is also available on Amazon if anybody is interested. It's a very good read, but I was able to then help him publish this, right? So God will give you skills and things that you can use, and then he'll give you skills and things that you can use to help other people. So very good. Love you guys. And I will chat with you all later. Bye now. Bye, y'all.